damn, that was an amazing movie.
Do you have time to, hey, Amy, do you have time to, discuss our Lord and Savior, John Wick?
Is this really a new religion thing? Because if so, I'm totally in.
You've seen the movie? This is totally a religion now.
This is the first time in Sage vs. History where I have not started off the episode. This is...
Well, the more people you get in here, the more chances that this can not happen.
God damn it. The aces are wild tonight.
I'm going to get my punishment for that tomorrow.
And Gavin's not here to, finish the video for you. So.
But John Wick 2, sequel to what I consider to be the best film I saw in 2014, and not the best film you saw in 2014.
Okay, I'm going to speak about that. But first off, I like what you've done with your hair, by the way. That's really cool.
Thank you.
It's different from last video.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I fucked up. I really fucked up. 2014, best of the year. I said that John Wick was number 1 out of 10.
That's number you put it at 10. You put it at 10. Yeah, which kind of.
Sorry, it was 10. I'm still trying to rectify that mistake.
But it's on recollection. It should be much higher on your list.
It should have been 1 instead of 10. But
really, you on recollection, do you think it held up better than say Guardians? Or
I'm gonna have to watch it again, and that's not gonna be a hard task. But maybe at least 8 or 9. I don't even remember what I had at those numbers for 2014.
At the very least, it needed.
It should have been higher than Sin fucking City.
That's for damn sure.
Why was that even on my top 10? 2014 must have been it was a shit year for movies if that was on my top 10.
Not only was that on your top 10, but 302 was on your list as well.
Evergreen was pretty good.
Ava Green was in Sin City as well.
I'm seeing the trend now. Thank you for helping me with this. I appreciate it. Now I get it. I just have a problem.
If Ava Green is naked in a movie, that's going to be in your top 10 of the best.
10.
But she's got
Although, to be fair...
She's got to run for her money, though.
Yeah.
She's there's a new waifu in the picture now. It's
and we will get to her.
We will get to her. Okay.
We will get to her.
Oh, yes.
I can wait.
But sequel to my favorite movie, unequivocally, of 2014, but it was my favorite of the year because it was the most surprising. I had no expectations going into a movie called John Wick.
I had not seen the first one. Mm-hmm. We got to watch that at some point. It's oh my god, this was just such a good movie, and I feel like I didn't need to see the first one to enjoy this, although I know there were times it was definitely a sequel. Mm-hmm. As opposed to just a continuation.
Because the beginning of the movie just does a great job what the first movie did, which is build up the legend of John Wick.
Yeah.
And legend is definitely the key word throughout this entire movie. Mm. But here's where John Wick 2 has something to prove that John Wick 1 never had. John Wick 1, who gives a shit if it was a bad movie or not? It was just another Keanu Reeves action movie. We've seen them time and time again. Yeah. We've seen Constantine, the Matrix trilogy, of course. It's not new. Speed.
And somehow that mentality stuck with me even after seeing John Wick 1, because when I was doing my list, I still put it a 10. But that's just how heavily hammered it is into it. It's like, oh, it's a John Wick action movie.
You mean Keanu Reeves action?
Sorry, it's Keanu Reeves. Actually, now he's John Wick.
Now.
I
think he just answers by John nowadays. I mean, I
Gabe
would.
has a new husbando.
Yeah.
But John Wick 2 now has to live up to the hype that was John Wick 1. And now it doesn't have Willem Dafoe in it because John Wick 1 did. Because, spoilers, he died.
Oh, god damn it, Bennett!
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Although, shame on me for not seeing it by now, but still.
I'm sorry, but when I say it didn't have John Wick 1 in it, I think you could figure out why he's not in John Wick 2 if he was in John Wick 1. But, nevertheless, John Wick 2 now had to live up to expectations, and it did. It was a different movie, it was a different animal than John Wick 1 was, in that, where do you go from John Wick 1? It was kind of a personal revenge story. Now this is, like the ball rolling and the ball rolling, and then it catches the mud and it starts turning into a gigantic snowball and it just destroys the village at the bottom of the hill.
It went into a lot of his history, which I thought was pretty cool, but it didn't do it through exposition. It did it through story and plot elements, which is tricky to handle.
Yeah. And the one thing that John Wick was very great at, very, very admirable at, was its ability to build a world that was like our own, but not like our own. I mean, real world locations, Rome, New York City, but so much detail about those cities that goes unnoticed. Like, you always, like, your common fantasy is like, there's got to be like some kind of secret society, or there's got to be some kind of, layer of civilization underneath ours where they seem to know something that we don't, or they could get to places that the normal person can't.
That and killing the shit out of people.
While no one else even reacts. That's what got me.
Oh my god!
So many scenes.
I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, are those assassins as well that are just not getting into it, or
there's one scene where, well, there's several where there's plenty of carnage going on, and everyone else is just either sitting there just staring or act like nothing's going on. And I keep joking like only in New York, but you have a point. You have a point.
Because at the end of the film, it's like, oh,
yeah.
So that's why that happened. Or were they just extras? They just weren't being paid enough to.
I was sitting here thinking, like, how are these people directed to act? Yeah, okay, just sit there. Don't look scared. Just sit there.
It's like you live in New York. Nothing can faze you.
What surprised me is that not one person in the background was recording it on their cell phone. That's why I think they were assassins. Because if they were just random tourists on the subway, no, there's no way they would not be recording that shit or texting someone.
Any of us could be assassins, actually. Like, you could be an assassin.
Yeah,
a lady never tells and a gentleman never asks.
I think you found yourself in an entrapment there, Gabe. But that's also to this movie's credit, is like its breadth of characters, from the minute to the one scene wonders to the main cast, they run the gamut of not your prototypical like hitman kind of people, which is to the movie's credit, because why would a hitman look like, say, Agent 47 all the goddamn time? It's like, you don't look conspicuous as fuck.
Yeah, really.
So now you got people, you got homeless people that are hitmen. You have street performers.
I loved that.
You have street performers who are hitmen. You have sumo wrestlers who are fucking hitmen.
I love that guy was like a Final Fantasy boss.
Yes, he was.
Just a bullet sponge. He just would not go down.
It's like, if you have that much amount of blubber protecting you, I mean,
your skull.
Hey, he's a very fat head, all right? I should know.
No, it was the bun. It's like it provides protection.
Like, just enough hairspray.
Yeah.
Like the hairspray over his little bun.
Yeah.
But
speaking of, I want a tactical tuxedo.
Yeah. Like, again, like I bring home the point of Daredevil. That was pretty much, I don't know, did you see Daredevil, the Netflix series?
Yes. I've seen the first season. I've not seen the second season.
But the first season when, when he goes to his tailor and says,
"Oh yeah,
and he says, can you build me a suit like this?" Mm-hmm. There's an entire montage where John Wick goes to every single proprietor and say, like, I need this and this, I need this and this and this, and it's so cool. What could be an otherwise dry scene is alive, and it's interesting when all he's doing is basically doing window shopping and getting fancy guns and fancy clothes that are bullet sponges.
The fact that they're talking about things designed to kill people as nonchalantly as if you were ordering a drink at a bar. Just details like that are all through this movie, and I love it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I brought it up in the first review where I talked about like how it's so just like their currency. They have a set currency. And rules and regulations, and there's a world to this movie, to this now franchise, that is both interesting, but familiar. Like, there are ideas that you could, you could point to as having seen before, like well-dressed hitmen. We've seen that before. We've seen a world network of assassins. We've seen that before too.
We've seen the guy retired who has to get back in the game.
Yes, we've seen that as well. But to see it executed the way it has, with character work and with interesting locales and with interesting camera work and dynamic as fuck action scenes, the way both these movies have is it's not that we need new ideas. We need good ideas. And good ideas done well. That's what makes a movie great.
I would have to agree. I mean, this is beautifully shot, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Every action scene, every set piece, and it goes how you'd expect it to. The plot, it's not the most detailed, but for an action movie, you get everything you could possibly hope for. And the action is shot amazingly. The coordination between the stuntmen and the extras and the other actors in the film was just pinpoint. There's a scene early in the film where a pigeon just walks across and a panning shot with people just crossing the street and all this stuff, and I'm just sitting here, how many takes do they take? How fucking well trained is that pigeon?
Leave it to you to focus on the birds. Yep.
Oh, with the birds.
Yeah,
I like birds. I like birds.
But
So that scene where the guy's eating duck, he's talking about
so
it.
you're gonna go. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one scene where the main villain is talking about duck fat potatoes and how it just. He's not wrong.
it's tasty as fuck.
But I own ducks and I love ducks, and I just Gabe looked over and he just saw my face of rage. Just
It's like, yeah,
oh,
they know how to
enjoy
sell
watching
a
you
villain.
die. You crossed the line.
You already hated him. You're already sold on.
Like,
Oh, they did a great job of making him classy but hateable.
Hateable too. The basic premise of the movie is that a blood oath has been summoned John Wick into the game once again, and the main bad guy tells him, "Kill my sister. She has the seat on some council that I want." He goes out
and he tries. He actually shouldn't. He doesn't try. He says no.
Yeah.
But then they blow up his house.
And basically force his hand into doing it.
Now, killing his puppy was enough to send him on a rampage. You just blew up his house.
Blew up his family house where his now dead wife were trying to, begin life anew. So basically, it's tabula rasa. This movie is just the slate is clean. Where do we go from here?
Now, what? Okay, so again, I did not see the first movie. I've tried to avoid things about it so I have a fresh perspective. Was the wife in the first film?
At the beginning of the movie, but then it's basically.
I think it was all flashbacks though.
Yeah, it was a long montage.
Okay, because I found it a little clunky when they just kept kind of flashing back to all these memories. Because I'm just like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, it's that part you do need to see the first movie for to really get oh yes, yeah, like his dead wife. He's and. I'm not gonna say anything more about that because first movie
Well, to add to that, but without giving away more, the neat thing about the first movie is it starts off just like he's kind of like a normal guy. He's just an anybody. He's an anyone.
Is Keanu Reeves ever a normal guy?
Well,
I don't think he's capable of playing a normal guy.
But it starts off with it's just a guy in his house who's dealing with the loss of a person, and then people come in and fuck his shit up.
Yeah.
Kill his dog.
Just kill his dog, yeah.
I will say kudos to Hollywood for finally killing the damn dog. Yeah. That takes balls.
Not any less balls than having a grappling, brutal fight scene with a hit woman. That was... Yeah, like... Oh, two of them.
Perfect.
But the more brutal of the one, I wish, I love what they did, the editing.
Like with the first movie you're talking about?
No, the second one. In the second one.
I remember we had a problem with the way they
finished
the first one.
Yeah, then
but we don't want to go into that.
That was that movie, this is this movie, and...
What?
I know. But during a montage where Keanu Reeves is basically attacked by every single hitman in New York, there's a montage of him being attacked by literally everyone in New York, from like a sumo wrestler, as we said, and a street performer who plays violin, and she is just sniping away at him, and he just dismantles her by breaking her arm and then just fucking just breaking her neck, and it is brutal.
This movie is god damn.
Yeah.
They brought back the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about the pencil.
You didn't get to see it in the first movie.
I did not know it would be that.
Oh yeah.
Difficult to sit through.
You thought Heath Ledger with a pencil was brutal.
Well,
that's
nothing.
I will say there were shades of the Raid 2 in this movie, or of the absolute brutality of these fights. I don't know if you've ever seen the Raid movies or not.
I have not.
Oh
but
god.
I have heard their reputation.
Yes, the Raid 2 still holds the top best, most draining, like you just feel spent action scenes. But this is where John Wick 2 manages to touch its hem at several points, and no point was it ever closer than with the pencil scene where he takes out two hitmen rather, with a pencil, and he just stabs him in the ear. He gets him in the mouth. He gets him in the back of the head. It's it does not shy away. It shows it in the
Oh, it holds.
It holds, and you see it, and with these wide shot, and it's in focus. But the best and most probably underrepresented part of that whole thing is the sound design. Every gunshot, it's just like this explosion inside your head.
I actually got a very small jump scare at one of the gunshots.
I didn't, and I'm jump scared.
And that's when I knew it was coming. He was like pointing at his head, like I knew it was coming. But the gunshot was so fucking. This was like the first shot, or one of the first shots in the movie. Yeah. And it was so loud and so just resonating.
The one that got me was the kneecaps.
Oh yeah, the kneecap. Oh yeah. And,
that's when I realized this was not an ordinary action movie, because this is like, oh shit, just like nothing, just both kneecaps done, and I'm just like, oh, it's one of those movies.
Pop a cap in them kneecaps.
Yeah, like this. I don't think John Wick had brilliantly choreographed action scenes where every single gunshot had purpose and it felt impactful. It wasn't the most elegant choreography.
It's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to. No. But this was more visceral and more violent than the first movie, and that's where I must taste blood. But
no, you don't understand. When you were talking about feeling spent, I get it. Like, the second the credits rolled, I look over and I'm like, I need a cigarette, dude. Like,
I was thinking this.
It was
good.
I think where the raid was more draining. This was a little bit more.
Comments on this one.
This was more fun.
This one was a little bit more.
Like, I'll put it to you like this.
Titillating.
Oh yeah, but I'll put it to you like this.
One word for it.
John Wick 2 is the more fun movie, more charming movie. Raid 2 is the more emotionally fulfilling movie.
I think so.
Yes, and better choreographed movie.
Huh.
Because the story of the Raid 2 is a story of just like, what will one man do just because it's his duty? He has no personal involvement in what's happening, but he does it because it's his job. And he just takes his job very seriously. So that's like the main driving force of the hero of the Raid 2. And I find him and John Wick, like that character Rama and John Wick, to be cut from the same cloth, but by different seamsters, as it were. Seamstresses. I did not want to denote a set gender.
No, I'm just legitimately curious. Is it seamster? Is that really the term?
Well, seamstress is definitely.
Yeah, but I am wondering, what is the male version of that?
I'm for lack of better knowledge, seamster.
Don't care.
Don't care. But the plot. Back to a slight plot recap. Just a slight plot recap. Basically, John Wick's arm is twisted into compliance. He goes out and kills his sister. Actually, doesn't even do it. She sees John Wick in her bath and just says, "I'm going to take my own life. I know there's no way of me getting out of this."
And that, whoa, man,
yeah,
it was pretty visceral, and it was extremely effective.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I lived my life on my own, so I'll have my death on my own as well.
That's what I love about this movie, is that even characters who were in the film, like was it Jana? Was her name?
Yeah, Jenna, Helen. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was Jana.
Jana, yeah.
Who was only in the movie for maybe 5 minutes total screen time. Had a handful of spoken lines. You felt like her character was developed, even in just that short of a time. Her impact was felt. The effects were immediate and carried throughout the rest of the film. And it was just, that is not easy to do. It's hard to write a movie with that kind of just boom, 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 characters coming and going, without just looking like a cheap, mindless action flick. But
here's looking at you, Rogue One.
What was that?
Here's looking at you, Rogue One.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, actually looking back on it, I'm surprised that neither one of our lists had Rogue One on the top 10 worst.
It's just because it was unremarkable enough.
It was easy to get. A lot of people got caught up in the hype. I think it's suffering from like Frozen syndrome right now, where there's the backlash happening right now. People realize, was it really that good?
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't a bad movie.
It's not like it was bad. It was just that it just could.
But it wasn't.
But yeah, you know, I mean, like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying about that. It's just this movie takes a short time to.
Mm-hmm. Short time to do so much.
So much.
And every
that
last
scene
character.
is so cool.
Oh.
Just like.
Mm-hmm.
If you have some kind of like trigger for, you know.
Oh yeah,
for self.
And I totally get why some people would. I have a hard time with it, and it's just like
bloodletting or you know, self-affliction, stuff like that. If that's tough for you, this scene is gonna be fucking tough.
A lot of scenes in this movie are gonna be like that.
Yeah, I mean, like seriously, don't go into this movie with, you know, being unprepared for that kind of violence. It is picturesque.
It is, but it's violence with a point, and it's so well.
It's so well shot. It's beautiful horribleness.
It is beautiful, visceral violence. And yes, but my favorite, what continues to be one of my favorite aspects of the series, is its ability to elevate these one-bit characters into scene stealers. Like we brought up the street performer with street performer assassin, and what I thought was going to be a one-scene wonder with Common being the what I thought was going to be a sub boss. The sub boss before going off to the main boss.
Like a mini boss.
He kind of was.
He kind of was, but he has. There's only a little bit of his character gone throughout the movie, but his presence in the movie is felt, and he was both necessary and yet not exactly like if he wasn't there, you wouldn't miss him, but you're so glad he's there.
Yeah.
And
with the guy at the beginning. Or...
Yeah, the Common,
Jonna's bodyguard.
Jonna, yeah, I believe his name was Cassius.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to just briefly mention Peter Stormare at the very beginning.
Oh, the Russian.
Abram.
Oh, that was
that
was good.
Yeah, Russian.
He's like the first thing that you see in the movie.
Like there's a Russian mafioso who's basically packing up and trying to leave town before John Wick gets him because he has John Wick's car, and he's just said like, you know, you don't understand. The legends you hear of John Wick, if anything, are watered down.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
He was great, and I thought he was gonna. I mean, he wasn't in the movie very long, but he sells John Wick to you. So fucking good. He deserves to get credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
all the characters, though, even Ruby Rose, who didn't even talk.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was a mute. So
or mute. She probably wasn't deaf.
No, just mute.
Yeah, just mute.
She had character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, did she have character?
So I can talk about Ruby Rose now.
Just wanted to segment quickly saying like
he's holding me back.
I'm holding you back for one moment because I wanted to finish up my thoughts on Common. Common didn't have much character, but was so demanded physically because of his choreography with Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
He had to he is an incredible actor in Selma, and unfortunately he was in movie 43. But
oh wow! Really?
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
That is very very unfortunate. But again, the favor was called. A blood oath was summoned to him, and he had to fill his
That's
end
a good
of the bar.
analogy there. That's good.
It's amazing that their careers came out as untouched as they
good
did.
parallel.
He had to end his bargain with the Farrelly brothers, but he of all the actors, he besides our main player Keanu, he had to do such a physically demanding role.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as good as Ruby Rose was in this movie, by the way, third movie in a fucking row with Ruby Rose in it.
Do I get to talk about her at all, or are you just gonna?
No, just one moment. Even though Ruby Rose was great, she had one good fight scene, but it was pretty quick, and then done away with, and have that little character moment with her. Whereas Common was just like that subway fight scene, the fight scene on the Italian stone steps.
The staircase. Watch for the staircase scene. It's one of the best set pieces in the movie.
And then the scene in the subway terminal where they're just trying to sneak pew-pews at each other, and
Oh god, the nonchalant pew.
yeah, like they're Common's up here, Keanu's down here. They're looking at each other. There are people passing by each other
Just walking by,
and they're
just like-
firing silenced guns at each other, and no one's noticing, and they're just pew-pews.
So can we coin that phrase, nonchalant pew? There needs to be like a counter now. Every movie that has two people
When you
trying
gotta
to
bust
snipe
a
each
cat
other.
nonchalantly.
And he's like pew-pew.
Nonchalant
It's just, I
pew.
was expecting that he like pulls up like a book, you know. It's all you know, texting, getting nails done.
But yeah, this guy did have an amazing performance, both physically and just as an actor. Just the rage in his eyes and just this cold, steely demeanor that he kept. But for him, I think the difference between him and
Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose's character is that for him it was personal.
Yeah. Like,
Jana was one of the closest people in his life, and even though again you don't get any of that backstory, you feel it just from the short time they're together on screen. Whereas Ruby Rose, I don't think they ever said her character.
I think her name was something like Rie.
It was like Echo or
like-
something.
I mean, it would be kind of ironic if it was Echo, but
Maybe
It
that's
was something
that's
like
the
just
joke.
some
Yeah, yeah.
random.
Okay,
pretentious
apparently her
one
name
word.
was what, Ares
Ares.
No,
or
Ares.
Ares or just
Ares.
Ares.
The god of war.
Yeah, but it's spelled Ares.
But that's how you spell
Well,
Ares.
okay.
That is how you yeah.
That is the right one. Okay.
So it would be Ares. So.
But but for her, I felt like although she has a camaraderie with the main villain, for her it was just doing a job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But she did take it seriously. Like I will take care of John Wick. Me trying to take on the legend of John Wick. I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. Being a disabled woman, I can do it.
I love how they built it up too, and just again, she doesn't talk. She does not say a single word, but you get so much of a character just through her physical motions.
So.
I don't know. There's not much to say now.
Oh.
Oh, I think you have plenty to say.
I think
I don't know if that's appropriate for film though.
Come on.
So when have we ever cared about appropriate?
No. Well, she's been in 3 movies that we've seen like almost consecutively for the last month.
No, it has been consecutively.
It actually has been consecutively.
So you know.
So the first one was Triple X, and then we saw her in Resident Evil, where she has a ridiculously hilarious death. This is just
Yeah. Not much of a presence, but
not much of a presence,
but a fun death. But a fun death.
And you know, I thought she was really hot up till this point in those movies, even though she didn't have much to do. Mm-hmm. But now I see she really is a great actress, because at least physically, definitely physically, because she was really good in this. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing her in more films, and I don't know, it's just like, apparently she was in Orange is the New Black, I guess.
That's where she got her start, and I remember the meme going around how like Ruby Rose had become like the icon for straight woman crushes, and I didn't really understand it until this movie, and now I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
I have a
that
little
makes
bit of a
sense.
lady
Yeah.
boner for Ruby Rose. I get it now.
I, as a straight woman, I get that. Yeah.
But she did.
I'm just like, is it like only straight women, and do men not? Because
it's a strange phenomenon I can't describe. Like straight women everywhere just fall over Ruby Rose. I do get it. I didn't before.
Because Ruby Rose has a masculine face. Of all,
She's got strong features.
she's
I don't know if I
got-
call it
she's got a
masculine.
maybe boyish.
Definitely boyish.
Definitely boyish, because if you think about like what does every heterosexual man like in a Hollywood star, like you think like Scarlett Johansson, or you think
Yeah, I mean, that's a good,
Blake Lively, or
very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake Lively, and traditionally
That's so true.
yeah, like traditionally feminine features. Yeah, like other straight women aren't looking at them and saying like, "Oh, I would just, like if I could go gay for one woman, it's her. It's not her. It's not Anne Hathaway. It's not these. It's Ruby Rose, who."
I don't know if guys do this, but a lot of girls I know have their gay celebrity crush and their straight celebrity crush. Mine was Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
I think I might have a new waifu.
So you love Secretary, obviously.
For a while there, I thought you said Secretariat.
No, that's not a very nice thing to say about Maggie Gyllenhaal, Gabe.
That's not a nice thing I said about Secretariat. It's like, wait a minute, Sarah Jessica Parker wasn't in that movie. What are you talking about?
And dead joke. Talking about horses.
We
About
have-
being
we
dead
have
beaten
seen
them.
Secretary.
It's like whipping Sarah Jessica Parker. I know. It's
You know,
yeah. I know.
from experience.
Yes, I do. Like I promise I wouldn't say anything. But every once in a while, because Matthew Broderick doesn't have a strong enough wrist for it, she needs a good whipping. She just needs it.
She seems the type.
You have seen Secretary, though.
I have not.
I gathered that. Otherwise, I was like, I know you would have just
Not
completely.
Really my genre. But of course, Donnie Darko was amazing.
If you like Maggie Gyllenhaal, I definitely.
In
recommend
Batman,
it.
she was incredible.
Do you like James Spader?
I do, but it depends on the context.
I would mention this movie primarily in using him for context. Actually,
Really?
yeah, this movie was really good.
Huh.
Like it's what 50 Shades. It's like the opposite. It's like
Oh God, do I have to see his ass?
James Spader's ass?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. No, but
Do I get to see Maggie Gyllenhaal?
or is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, you do.
Sold.
Yes, you definitely do get to see her ass. Yeah, it's like you like it for Maggie Gyllenhaal. I like it for James Spader in this case. So
I do like James Spader. Just he's not an attractive man.
The Amazing Spader Man is the most attractive man. He is the man that all other men were supposed to be like when God made them.
So like when we're all little boys, I'm breaking hallowed ground here by mentioning this, but when we're all little boys, we're all led into a little room where we're given two gigantic pictures, one of James Spader and the other of John C. McGinley, and they say choose.
I was wondering about that.
But then a certain person broke the mold. His name was Peter Weller.
RoboCop himself.
Yes, I'm aware. I thought we were going to go into some joke about Naked Lunch, what with all the ass talk and everything.
Oh, and then Julian Sands. Yes, going back to Julian Sands and Naked Lunch. Yes, another great one. Man, how did this just turn into talking about man crushes?
Because we're us.
Oh, Ruby Rose, right.
Ruby-
She's supposed to be a...
Yeah, Ruby Rose, because she's a man, yes.
Because she's supposed to be a... I don't know. I don't really see the masculine features that much.
I kind of do. I mean, again, because I've got pretty strong features, the high cheekbones and the nose. I understand it. I think it's the eyebrows. I really think it's the eyebrows and the jawline.
It's definitely she's definitely way more androgynous than the typical Hollywood starlet.
Oh sure. But you look at what's her face? Damn it, Tilda Swinton. She isn't. She's about as androgynous as they come, and I think that she is aesthetically beautiful, but I wouldn't say she's hot.
Yeah, exactly. It's because Tilda Swinton, even though she does have that androgynous thing going on, there's always that. There is still a delicateness to her. Still a little bit.
I don't know about that.
She's not nearly as hard as fucking Ruby Rose is. Ruby Rose looks hard.
All I can say is if they ever put the Sandman to film, she better play Desire.
Well,
she would kill it.
Well, whatever it is Ruby's doing is working.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would be fun to see if she can butch it up a little bit more because because Desire switches. Desire.
Yeah, but he's just
It's just
Shim is just such a pompous entity and just oozes with charisma that I think she could pull off. I really.
If not her, no one else. So.
Exactly, just physically in and of itself. And now that I can see just how good she is with her subtle acting, her facial expressions, I think she could really, really pull that off.
Obviously, we're not talking about the plot in more detail because we want you all to go see it. And
if we're gonna move up the cast list, then we definitely got to mention Ian McShane.
Ian McShane returns
as Winston, and he was in the first one.
Ian McShane returns, and he is probably the glue. He's the glue that keeps scenes from flying off the handle. And we won't mention the direct context of the ending scene, but the unsung hero of that scene was Ian McShane.
And I guess by extension the entire movie.
Mm-hmm. Because he has that weird sort of presence that him and Oliver Reed used to have.
Ooh,
yeah. Like, if I remember, like if they ever dared to make a Gladiator remake, I would put Ian McShane in Oliver Reed's role in that movie. It's like, get the crowds, and you will have your freedom. It's like, can't you see Ian McShane in that role?
Oh, fuck yes.
Yes.
Lawrence Fishburne is in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Morpheus. Morpheus and Neo.
Cameo.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they have been in a movie together since the Matrix trilogy.
I can't recall a single one.
So it was so it's oh man, it's such a reuniting of actors is it should not go unnoticed and it should not go uncelebrated.
They were on top of a building, by the way.
Oh yeah,
with birds.
You know where that could have led to?
Just like
one of them having to jump, and the other, like Keanu has to jump off the building because he's being attacked, and then Fishburne's like, it's like, don't say it, don't fucking say it, or I will kill you.
I think I may have a problem.
What's this problem?
Well, because during that scene, with all that was going on, the first impression and the one thing that I kept going back to was that is a really, really pretty pigeon. Lawrence Fishburne is holding. I like that.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. I'm entitled to speak about Ruby Rose, so you can go ahead and talk about the pigeons.
They were so pretty and cute. I love birds. Mm-hmm. But I did like his character. I like the twist on the mob boss they had with him, and the fact that he was just so diametrically opposite of his character as Morpheus.
Would you say there was any parallels to that?
Well, I mean, only through Keanu Reeves, because, let's face it, he pretty much mostly plays the same character.
Like, you remember that cracked video where they described him as having, like, the blank face, the audience proxy face, by which we get to have this adventure through vicariously.
I don't know about that, because his character isn't. It's just...
But that actor is.
It's like the mask of neutrality you use to get out of yourself and become another character.
It's a conundrum. He is... Let's face it, he's kind of a wooden actor when it comes to line delivery. Physically, he's a brilliant actor.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen anyone as entertaining to watch who is as wooden as he is.
Because...
Or successful, for that matter.
Yeah, he is...
Good wood.
It's good, strong, sturdy wood.
Wood.
Yeah.
Thick. Powerful. It's wood you could be proud of. It's wood that you could build a family on.
Really varnished, yeah.
I think we lost the metaphor there.
I don't know.
No, you just need to stretch your little imagination. And with a thick enough wood, it's going to stretch.
Happy with that one, are we?
Moving on.
At least 6 or 7 inches. But if you get your legs behind your ears, it can go in an extra inch.
I'd like to see you try it. What do you say at home, kids?
And I'm not reading
I'm
not reading the comments. You can't make me. I'm not reading them.
Ears.
Legs behind your ears. All I'm saying is you need a little bit of extra room to get every single millimeter of length available.
Can we tie this back into the movie somehow?
Yes, so Keanu Reeves' penis. It's very, very... I'm told it's...
Again, I'm talking from experience.
I am told
it's a great physical... It's a
modest.
great physical actor.
It's a great physical penis, exactly.
In of its own right. In fact, it was Keanu Reeves' physical acting coach.
I would believe so in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Doesn't get more wooden than that.
Nor does it get any more boner-driven than that. Here, Keanu, fuck my brides that appears in your bed for no reason. But I won't let them bite your dick. Here, have a baby that I procured out of nowhere. How the fuck I get this baby? Who cares?
Well, actually, they did bite the dick in that movie.
Oh shit, you're right.
The baby came too late, so it happened. Yeah.
The baby came too late. So now John Wick
can't
came anymore. John Wick.
John Wick was it? I'm not the only one, man. It's a thing now.
Sorry, John Harker.
Jonathan Harker. That's right. His name's Jonathan.
John Harker. Sorry, I remember the Dracula story. I mean, I've been your friend for long enough that I had through osmosis, the Dracula narrative is mine.
It hurts me because as someone who loves classic literature, they keep butchering Dracula and they keep butchering Frankenstein.
No movie's ever done it by the book. Like
the one time they tried for Frankenstein, it was still a absolute piece of shit.
Well, that's because Robert De Niro played the monster.
True.
Look at me, I'm all dead and got bolts in my neck. What was that?
What the fuck was that? Was that supposed to be Robert De Niro? This is like
I don't know. I
can't. Oddly like Bill Cosby, which is deeply troubling given what you just said.
Zip zap zippity bow.
God.
Do the Robert De Niro Frankenstein. Ooh, I'm also
really. Woo. I got bolts in my neck. I'm electric and scary.
There you go.
I can't.
There it is.
I can't do Robert De Niro, but
That's better than mine.
yeah, but at least I got the tone of his voice right. What the? We can't trust you with any impression at all, man. You just go off the reservation.
No. I'm really good with my impressions, actually. I just get them out of order.
Yours is more like James Woods, I thought, than De Niro. Speaking of Wood.
It's more like guess the impression.
James. I mean, if I could rein it in, I would like to do a James Woods impression.
Where were we anyway? We covered Lawrence Fishburne.
No, I want to see where it's going with this.
Yeah, no. Like, I am at a loss for words because I do actually want to get back to John Wick 2 because it is a good movie, and if by now if it's not been made clear to you, please go see this movie.
Ricardo Scamarcio as Santino.
Yeah, the main bad guy.
I know we mentioned him a little bit. I think.
Yeah, we do need to talk about him a little bit at the very least because, god damn, he plays an asshole well.
Yep.
He was an amazing villain.
You didn't hate the villain in the first one. You kind of understood him. He was scared shitless like the whole movie.
Yeah. You actually kind of felt sorry for him.
Yeah.
Is this the guy that killed the dog?
No, he got his but he wasn't really.
That was the guy you hated in the first one.
Yeah, like,
that little shit.
You hated it, but like it wasn't like it was sort of the cheap heat, as it were. Like you kill a puppy, of course you're going to get the cheap heat.
Yeah, but he was this annoying, overprivileged little fuck.
Yeah, he was an annoying, overprivileged little fuck, played by the same guy who plays Greyjoy, Davon Greyjoy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was he?
Yeah.
He's been having a rough time of it lately, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That was him?
That was him. Yeah, Greyjoy. Yeah, the guy.
Did he do that role before he?
No, after.
I must have watched that Game of Thrones that season late or something. I don't recall.
Yeah, it's Greyjoy.
Holy shit! Yep, that was him. I'll be damned. Wow. And then then there was Michael.
What do you?
Okay, Michael Nyqvist.
Nyqvist, yeah.
That was the main baddie of the first one.
But
he was pretty good.
Yeah, but John Wick 2, I think not the only thing that John Wick 2 doesn't have over John Wick 1 is the surprise. But that's to be expected. That's to be expected because now you expect it out of the movie. So the best you could hope for is to meet expectations. And again, as I said,
there were still moments that surprised me. Again, even though I don't have the context of the first film.
Well, speaking as a person who's seen the first movie, I was surprised by how much more violent it was and how much more brutal it was, and that was a very welcome surprise.
What about the final confrontation with the villain?
I
think that surprised you.
I was surprised not by what happened, but just how soon it happened.
The way that it happened, I
thought there was going to be I thought he was going to more of a ramping up to it, but no, it was just
gauging by the audience reaction. I'd say that was the general consensus of that. It was a pretty shocking moment. There were many times where the whole theater just went, "Oh!"
Pencil scene especially.
Oh god, yeah, and the kneecap scene.
Yeah. But nothing.
It's so gloriously violent.
Yeah. I'm showing you the Raid 2. I think you need to see that movie.
I'm down.
Okay. But you will be like left. You will be emotionally battered after that movie.
Oh boy.
Ugh. But emotionally fulfilled too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be. It's just like in a very, very, just like I don't know. It's like going to the doctor. You're just you're just getting that shot done, but then all of a sudden you're just like, it's over.
I don't think that's a very good.
I was going to go for a different length, but then I realized I probably shouldn't go there, so I went another way.
Yeah, because I generally like to go into a movie pleasant experience. Generally, that's the idea.
Yeah. Poor metaphor on my part. Bad Bennett.
That's not the first poor metaphor.
Nor will it be the last. But any last closing thoughts before we go?
Can't wait for John Wick 3.
Right, and there will be
this time. I'm
going
to put this one higher up on my list for 2017.
Yeah, 2017 is a tough act to follow. We'll see how it goes. Till then.